we are now going to start focusing on 3 turn meter boosters. So when I say turn meter boosters, I'm looking at people that either flat out increase the turn meter or they're going to bring an increase speed buff. So those are the two things I'm going to really look at, and I want to get 3 of them going on. So first, obviously, is going to be our positive effects. I think it's going to be in here. So we have fill turn meter. So let's go ahead and look at all of the fill meter or fill turn meter champions that also bring increase speed. So let's hide this, and we're looking for people that would be good to increase our buffs. Necmo would be good, but not a lot of use in live arena, I don't think. Lady Kimmy could be really good if we can get her moving incredibly fast. Right now, she's at 212. She also brings an increased accuracy, which can be really good for our nukers. And then she can also block buffs and like remove one buff. So that could be definitely a possibility. So I think we do need to go ahead and give her a champion tag. So I think I need to move back to this, and then let's go ahead. I'm just gonna mark everybody that I want for a champion tag to have this build 2, so that way I can kind of view them all afterwards. Grand Old Podrick, I think, can be really good for this because he has this turn meter increase and this on the same move. If we can try to get him into like a 6-piece merciless or a 9-piece merciless to get the extra turn, or even a 4 pieces of relentless to get extra turn and then move into this increase or to ally attack. He's also unique because he gives each champion the necessary buff that they need to give. So that one could be beneficial. So I'm going to remove this heart and kind of put him over here. Next one's going to be Lady Mikage. Why is it not switching over? There we go. So I need to remind myself, she revives all enemies and then freezes. That one could be really good. Um, Targets an ally, removes it if they're under sheep, target's not under sheep, heals, and then heals everybody else. Then places an increased speed. Where is the turn meter fill? Maybe it's counting this 50% turn meter. So she might be one. Might come back to her for the reviver. We have another Grand Podrick, so obviously 2 is not going to work. And then we do have a Lysandra. She's really great too. Is this one? Which one's in the collection? Let's move this one. So she does have a increased speed, but then a decreased turn meter as well. The only thing that I'm trying to keep away from when it comes to the decreased turn meter is not using that champion when we go against a Marius, because it does trigger that counterattack. So that one could be a possibility. As for the rest, I don't think that's really going to work. So let's go ahead and go back to here. Now we're just going to look for increased speed champions or filling turn meter champions. So let's see if anybody does it. Obviously, Armands is going to be one. He does his own, but this will be a general support type champion, or control champion. I don't remember what he does that would do the increased turn meter. Okay, and their turn meter, so that's not going to be beneficial to us. Let's see if there's anybody else that jumps out. Obviously, we did have our Arbiter was going to be really big. I do think so. Furion could be interesting because he brings the HP burn. He's also a reviver, so I'm gonna mark him. And I think mine's built pretty decent. So 326, not bad. Obviously, no stone skin, but I can maybe, since he already has 2 stone skin pieces, maybe switch this up a little bit to put him more in stone skin for one set. That one could be very beneficial, and he's a good reviver because on his revive he gets an extra turn too. I think he's going to be a pretty good option. Right now he's in protection, so I don't know if I'm going to want to move him in protection because I do use him in Hydra, but I can definitely look at him. How much is your boost? You do increase accuracy, increase speed, then you put 2. Okay, true failure. So it's not. Where is your boost? Am I missing it? Oh, so this is a boost. So you're not really a booster. Let's see, any of these that would really be a booster. So we already got those. Let's see, I think you have a pretty good boost. So you remove all buffs from all allies, and you fill the turn meter by 15%. Then place a block buffs on your allies for 2 turns. Fills the turn meter of each allies by a further 10% for any true. And then it fills for each ally 5% for any other buffs removed. That one could be pretty good. Then you do have a stun. After attacking, 80% chance of decreasing each enemy's turn meter by 30%. So maybe not the best against Armans. And then you have an AoE decrease speed. You're immune to sleep, stun, freeze. So you could be a good Armans counter. Fills the champion turn meter by 20% whenever an enemy tries to place those. Okay, so I could see this one work. Plus your void, so that's beneficial. I'm not going to be able to use your turn meter fill for this. And any epics, probably not going to consider. Do I have any sneaky ones hidden in the vault? What do you do in your rework? I think I have 3 of these guys. So you attack, you place sleep debuff for 1 turn and decrease speed for 2 turns. I don't have a Wella, so I'm going to ignore that. Fills the champion's turn meter by 15% for each sleep or stun placed. So you're just a self-fill turn meter. Remove all buffs from this champion heals. Is it just this champion that does this stuff? 15% chance to decrease the cooldown of one of this champion's skill by 1 turn whenever they're healed by continues. So just this champion, so not the best. What do you do again? Ally protect, strengthen, attacks all enemies, removes buff, 75% chance of filling the turn meter of all allies by 30%. Then you have a 45% chance of removing all debuffs on allies. Maybe not. You provoke, and then you place block buffs for 2 turns. Fills this. Oh, this champion, so that's not going to work. I think you are also a selfish one. Fills this champion's turn meter, yes. I know this one can't be locked out. Place a block debuffs on all allies for 2 turns. 60% chance of placing a freeze on all enemies. Kind of seems like what Lady Mikage does. And fills this champion's turn meter. So no, not going to want that. So kind of like Lady Mikage. See, I got these little guys everywhere. I got a lot of this guy too. And a lot of the... I think he's one of the coolest looking champions. Like, he's one of the coolest skins, so I wish he would get like a remake, a rework to make him absolutely beneficial, but he does not. Alright, so now let's just go to our increased speed to see if there's anybody that we really missed. Sadly, I don't think you really have a place because you're actually built pretty good. You bring increased speed? So I know you can strip people and you can block their passives, which is really beneficial. I don't see the increased speed though. Okay. Isn't Fields of Champions tournament at 30% increased speed on them? Okay, so that's not a team one. Turbold's an individual one. I might build him out. I do have books to book him, but I might try to build him out into a better nuker. He is a void champion, which I think works really good against the affinities. So he might be a good option for nuking. Alright, so I think I got my champions for that one because I accidentally exited. So now we need our 3 cleansers. I think often it's good to cleanse. So let's see, I think that's going to be other effects. It's a positive, decreased debuff duration. No. Remove debuffs. So we do have Lady Mikage. She's a good option. I think it's an individual one though, but I'm pretty sure she's going to be in there. Mithrala, I don't know if I want her to be rebuilt because she can solo Hard Tin Dragon. So that's kind of a disadvantage, but I think she's really good because it's hard to debuff her I just don't know if she brings enough to the table to make it work. She might. So if you guys have comments on that, by all means, let me know down below. Pythion would be a good one. Right now he's in what is it? 9 piece of, and he's pretty fast too. So I wonder if at one point I was trying to use him in the Chimera, especially with the protection, or if I was trying to use him in the Hydra. I don't use him very much anymore, so that's an interesting build for him. But he might definitely be an option to rebuild. When it comes to other good cleansers, we did have her. You're a single target one. You can cleanse, was it everybody or one target? Removes all debuffs from all allies. I think Grand Old Podrick started to look better and better, and so is Tremeria starting to look better and better. Good part is with Grand Old Podrick, I can keep one in like a Hydra build. So I think it's going to be probably this one. And then this one shield set for some reason, so I'm not sure what he's doing. But I'm going to switch the builds there. I know this one is ascended by one, so I was like, it's not that big of a deal. So I'm going to switch to this one, just because I think he's probably going to be somebody that I will use. Don't remember what you do. I know you got to rework. Is it beneficial? Removes one buff from each enemy, 75% of two buffs. So no. Okay, so that's going to be my cleanser. So I think I have at least a solid 3 when it comes to cleansers. And then I need some buff strips. So let's see, remove buffs. Is that one? No. How do I get to buffs? It's not debuffs. So is it negative effects? Activate, debuff spread, remove buffs. Okay. And I guess steal. There's only a couple champions that do. Ugo might be good for this. So let's flag these. So we already have him because I know his A2 removes. So you're going to be an option there. And then I just want remove buffs. So we already have Lady Mikage. She's obviously a staple. We already have him. Definitely he could be an option. Definitely he could be an option. So I think we might be pretty solid there. So let's do a quick pass just to make sure we aren't missing anybody. I think maybe Lady Kimia may have been sleeping on this entire time, because she could be an option for definitely a go first team. I don't think I need to build her in Stone Skin to make it really work. Is her passive good? Whenever this champion places a debuff on an enemy, also decreases the turn meter 5%. Whenever this champion or ally receives a debuff, fills their turn meter by 5% for each debuff. So I don't think she's that bad at all. Let's see if there's anybody else I'm missing. I don't think your kit really does live arena. So I think it's going to be everybody. So then we need our 5 damage dealers. So this is where I wanted to look to see. We have HP. I want to see if there's any good HP damage dealers. Do I have anything else selected on this? It says I have 3 selections. Oh, these counts too. HP damage dealers for live arena. Maybe a 1, but I think she's kind of niche. Maybe build out Sir Nick to pair her with Lady Noelle. I got a couple of Sir Nicks, 2 at least. No, not really any HP ones. So let's go to defense first and see what we have. We already marked you. I think he's just going to be a good option for it. We have Marius still, and we have Harima. So we have 3 really good defense ones that probably need to be rebuilt a little bit. I thought about trying to rebuild him, but it's really about getting that buff out first and then letting him do damage with his A1. So I think it's going to be kind of hard to do. And then I think he might be a good future build. I've gone up against him in a couple times. He's wrecked me. He's a good counter for Harima, I feel like. So maybe an option there. So let's see if I have anybody else kind of hidden. Don't see anybody else. Okay, so we have some defense ones, and then let's move into attack. I think Harim or Rhonda could be a good option when it comes to blocking those this skill right here, block passive and block actives. Obviously, I think Ronda is going to be replaced with Carnage whenever I do get him. I think I'm going to get him in about 2.5 months. So that'll be good. I think he's built pretty well, but he's kind of slow. So I might look at rebuilding. Maybe not. I don't really see him. He doesn't have any ignore defense. So I think there's a lot better options. We obviously have the monkey. I use him quite a bit for Hydra, so I don't think I want to mess with his build. But I think he's going to be too slow for Live Arena. It's really looking like I'm in the defensive nukers for the most part because you have monkey. Let's see, who else do I have? We did have Nishak, that would be really good. So we got him marked as a 2. I think maybe I can rebuild Heprak. So I'm going to leave this. I don't think I'm going to get in the Comet or the Cupidus Venus combo, so I'm not going to worry about that. I do have another bomb option. I don't know as good as Nishak, so I might remove him from that. Obviously Lord Sajar, but I don't feel like that's going to be another bomb option. We do have Hegemon. I think I'm going to look at building Turvold because Turvold could be pretty good for that double hit if I do go against any UDKs, and not a lot of people are picking Turvold. I don't know if anybody's picked Turvold that I have, so he's going to be an option. I think the cat's going to be a big one. Right now, the cat's built pretty good at 266 with 6, and no, he's really not built that good. Never mind. Uh, I thought he was built better than what he is. He does have the Merciless on, so I'd love to do Merciless and because is it 6 piece or just 4 piece that needs to ignore? Oh, so it is 6 piece that needs to ignore. I'd love to try to get him in a stone set, maybe a lethal, like a fast lethal one. So I think he's going to be a top one. He's on my wish list now for soul stones. Eventually, I'd love to get him kind of up and running with a higher soul. He is not built bad. He's kind of fun to play around with in Classic Arena when I use Lady Mikage because I put him in the last one and it's a block revive pretty good. Let's see if there's anybody here that I'm missing. I think she might actually be an option because you got the mini lockout and then you have the ignore defense. If initial target's killed, it also goes on the second one. And then obviously you have a 5-star for her, so I'm slowly building her up. I don't think she has any mastery, so not going to be anything soon. I want to say there's nobody hidden in there. All right, so that's going to be there. So let's go here. We need to make sure that we had 3 revivers ready to go. I would imagine that's going to be positive. Revive. I want to say we already have 3 revivers. So we have her, we have you, we have you, we have an Ugo if needed, we have you. Do I want to put her in there as an option? She's a void, and she does have, yeah, just because of this aura, I think she's going to be really good too. So let's put her in there. It's a low turn revive, or low cooldown revive. So we have reviving options. Then we had Hedgie and Torment, also like Ultimate Death Knight for kind of the specialist champions. So that's going to be our champion. So let's go ahead and filter this back out. I don't think I have anybody in the vault, so let's go by champion tags. Obviously all the way here at the bottom. And then we want to go to our Classic Arena 2 build. And now we're going to try to figure out which ones we're going to rebuild on here. I think when it comes to top picking priority, 1, 2, 3, 4. So maybe I should rank them by my top specialist, my top healer, my top reviver, and my top damage dealers, and then just kind of go a little bit after it like that. So the turn meter boosters, obviously we're trying to move fast. So my top ones are going to be Arbiter, which she is at 372, so she could be faster, maybe. So I think that's going to be something we're going to look into to see if Arbiter's faster. So I need to go ahead and write this down. Let's see. We're going with Arbiter for speed. Okay. Other turn meter boosters. I think we should maybe, let's see, let's just go by this. Arman's, I think, is fine for his build. He's in Stone Skin and Supersonic, 344, so I'm just going to leave him. I really don't want to change him too much because he does get banned pretty much almost every single time, or that or Arman's. So I have any other speed boosters? I think we're going to look at him, Sulfurion, but probably not the second option yet. I think I might just leave you, so I'm going to take you out because I really don't want to mess with your other build. So let's see if I can get Lady Kimmy faster. So let's see, Kimmy is a speed focus. What does she do again? Target an ally. So they have block buffs. She pretty much does nothing. Oops. I always do that. So they have block buffs. She pretty much does nothing. So I'm not going to make her a priority build. What is she built like right now? I might look into this one, Temeria, but I think I'm going to do Podrick first. So Podrick and increase speed. I think that's going to be my focus when it comes to speed. So Kimmy, Arbiter, and Podrick. So I think they bring. The sad part is none of those bring a revive. So I'd love for like an increased speed champion to also bring a revive, like a Sify, like those champions. But it's not really going to happen. I know you bring over a speed, like an increased speed, but it's also on your revive skill, so it's kind of wasted if you need to get back to it. So let's think about cleansers. So I do have Lady Mikage, which I think her build's fine. She's built relatively fast, 3 and a lot of accuracy at 516. So that's really beneficial to me. She doesn't hit, or she can hit kind of hard too. So I leave those. Good defense, good accuracy, or good HP. So I'm gonna leave that build. So who else can cleanse on this setup? We already talked about Almrands. You two can technically cleanse, but you're gonna be a different build. Or not cleanse. You guys can buff strip. We're talking about cleanses, Dylan. Let's see. You don't cleanse. Podrick cleanses, so he's already up there. Did she cleanse? Removes all buffs. So let's go Tramiria. We want her to be fast as well. Probably gonna run out of stone skin accessories and pieces for these champions, but that's alright. You were a target, and then Python cleanses, but what does Python look like right now? Yeah, Python needs to be rebuilt. So let's change this one to Python. We're going speed on Python 2 with Stone Skin. Okay, so we got our cleansers ready to go. Now we have our buff strips. We have the monkey, we have Armons, but we need more of buff strips. So I know you do a buff strip too. I think it's going to be highly effective. It's just she's the fastest one, so if she goes, or sometimes she's the fastest arbiter who gets banned. So if she goes and then they cut in and we're not able to go next, it just kind of screws us up because then they buff up and doesn't work very well at that point. So is there any other buff strip champions? I think Ugo buff strips, but it's conditional. Yeah, I can only do up to 2. Then you can also put block buffs and decrease accuracy. So kind of a big polymagnet. So maybe I'll stay away from that for now. Kimmy. Romantu might be a good one to build for the buff strips. Need blocks accuracy. So let's go ahead and try him. We want him speed and accuracy as the main focus. I think that's going to be it for buff strips. So then we have our damage dealers, our 1 priority, well, our 1 priority, our 2 priority, and then I think our cat is going to be next. So let's go cat with speed and damage. Get him into Stone Skin. I'm going to assume Harima is going to be next on this. So let's rebuild Harima with Stone Skin. So then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, and then I want probably Nishak is another one. So let's go Nishak. I think that's gonna be good for those damage dealers for now. Then 3 revivers. We already had Arbiter. We have a Duchess, and we have Saphirion. Are those my only damage dealers? They are. So I think first up, Arbiter we already have, so I think Saphirion's going to be next. And we want speed and then accuracy on Saphirion. And then I think I'm going to leave Duchess in her build just because she's in my Chimera team. We do have Mighty Ugo, but I'm going to leave that one for now. And then we obviously have our 2 specialists in Tormin, which Tormin is built like this. So I'm thinking about slowing Tormin down and just giving Tormin accuracy and then putting in Stone Skin. Because I think he needs his accuracy to. He's kind of like a Ultimate Death Knight in that faction. Because if he's incredibly slow, has a lot of accuracy, I think he does his passive with the freezes and then kind of build in a bunch of damage. So that way, if it does ever get to him, he hits. But then he also revives, so like you have to deal with him even more if he's incredibly tanky with his defense. So I think I'm going to try to rebuild him like that and kind of probably take out this more nuclear type build that I have on him for kind of like a stall type build. So that way the monkey revives more. Might work. I think the cat could really benefit from him too. And then Hegemon, what are you built like? 7. So I think maybe Hegemon could be a little bit better. So I will look at Hegi for full damage. So I can get Hegemon into 6-piece Merciless, and then 2 pieces of this Cruel. That would be 40% ignore defense. So that could be pretty good. I need to finish booking up this skill, but he is at least built from there. So I'm going to go ahead, run those into Optimizer, and then I'll let you know what the builds look like after. With our re-gearing session, I didn't get everybody re-geared because I ran out of gear space. We're just switching people on and off. So I do need to rebuild a couple different champions. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 different champions that I did end up taking gear from. But I'll show you the ones that we did get re-geared, and then we're going to dive into Live Arena. So Lady Mikage was not touched. Tormund did get re-geared. So Tormund now is quite a bit slower at 170, but it's not like unreasonably slow. Good defense. Big part is a lot of accuracy, so hopefully going to freeze a lot of individuals. Didn't end up touching Ultimate Death Knight. I did not touch my Armans. I tried to tweak Sun Wukong, but couldn't find a better build for the amount of speed that he needed. I tried to tweak my Armis too. I did not find a better build. Excuse me, I'm burping a lot. My Ugo actually had gear strips, so Ugo is no longer an option, at least right now. I did rebuild Harima, so we did get Harima in some stone skin. So went from roughly about the same defensive percentage. It is about 15 faster on speed and then less crit damage. So that part kind of took a hit, and then there's quite a bit less accuracy on there, which for demon spawns, when you go against her A3, it's irresistible against them for provoke. So it was kind of the important part. It's really just the accessories, and then I switched out these boots. That was kind of her major changes. Didn't end up touching Duchess because Duchess is really used mainly for the Chimera, so I didn't want to touch Duchess. Tried to look at Saphirion, but he is on next. I didn't have enough gear space to really start switching out anymore, so I didn't need to go and cleanse some more gear and then re-gear some more champions to make sure I have some more space. I have a couple more free re-gear things left in my inbox. Arbiter could only get up to about 6 more speed, but it would be taken from Armans and Lady Mikage, so I didn't touch that. Pythion didn't get touched. I don't think Pythion's going to be much of an option for me right now until I have more time, kind of like Saphirion, but I think it's going to be good in the future. I did end up re-gearing Nishak. So Nishak, he did go up more in attack, which is kind of funny. His speed actually went up too, which I'll kind of show you why I think that's a little bit funny. And then his accuracy went up. So remember those gear that it was attack percentage, and then I had these two with it. So it was absolutely perfect for him. So I called it there. So he's no longer in speed gear boots, but he is rocking about 10 more speed than he was rocking before we rebuilt him. Didn't have time to rebuild my Heffrac, so I won't be using him. Romantu is one of those that I'm going to rebuild in the future. Same with Lady Kimmy. But I need my Stone Skin speed gear to be a little bit better for these two when it comes to Stone Skin speed and accuracy. So hopefully the Chimeras can be good in the future. I did not end up rebuilding her right now just because she's already in Stone Skin and with good accuracy, so might still use her, but I would love to get her up to 300 plus. Tamira, though, I did end up raising her stats quite a bit. So now she's at 304 speed, some crit damage. So if she does ever actually crit, she can hit kind of hard. And then that accuracy on there. So I think she's going to be somebody that might be beneficial when it does come to losing the speed race and refreshing, cleansing off of those. So I think she's going to be my primary cleanser. I did rebuild Hedgie into that 6-piece Merciless. So now he's at 2.6k attack and 286% crit damage. So pretty decent build when it comes to that. I think he'll be able to nuke through a lot of people that don't have Stone Skin. Plus, he's gonna be fun to kind of play around with in waves. Didn't get to Turvold yet. I ended up taking some gear from Turvold for Hedgie, so I do want to rebuild Turvold. I think he's gonna be, I think he's fun to play with regardless. I did rebuild the cat so into Stone Skin. Oh, I got a little bit more attack from them, but I did lose about 30 to 40% crit damage. But I think it's going to be more beneficial. And it kept it about the same speed. I think it's a little bit faster. I think maybe three speed faster in a Stone Skin and a lethal build. And then I did put my Podrick into 4 pieces of Supersonic, so he's got boost 4% for each buff on the opposing enemy. And then he does have Stone Skin. Obviously, it's not rolled up. This piece doesn't really matter for him. It's really about that speed. So he is rocking 313 speed. None of the other stats really matter on him. It's just kind of the speed, and then obviously survivability is kind of nice. Didn't get to any of these three as well. So that's kind of who we're rocking with right now. So let's go ahead and, if you guys are wondering real quick, the gear enhancement. Yes, I totally got done with it with the close to 60 million gear that I just used to refresh it. So I will need to update my resources from there. So we got an hour and 40 minutes left. We do have a free refresh accessory, or refresh for it. So I'm going to go ahead and use these, and we're going to see how we do with our new champions. Kind of take you through a little bit of strategy when it comes to this, and just kind of cross our fingers, hope for the best that our new champions that we did re-gear, beneficial for us. Eventually, I'd love to get Arbiter in like a Stone Skin with incredibly fast speed. I think that's going to be very beneficial. So we didn't get first pick, so I'm most likely guessing it's an R-Man's. Yep, R-Man. So then we go into R-Speed typically, and then we go to Marius. I think Marius just is a natural counter for a lot of different champions, so I always try to lead into him. Plus, he's built pretty well. Eventually, he'll be in 6-star Crushing Rin, and once it comes up. So Lady Mikage is typically another pick for us. So we typically always we always ban the R-Man. So now we know bombs are not going to be an option for us. I only do 2 nukers, so I'd love to get the cat into here, but I also love to get Sun Wukong for this strip and then those revives. So I think I'm going to do this. She does cleanse, but also brings a lot of buffs, So I might do a Torment here. I really should do a support option. So maybe Tramiria is going to be a good one because we do have the stuns here. So let's try her out. It did just leave us up to like not much of another reviver. So I'd love to get a different option that can not only CC but also maybe revive. I just don't know because I guess I have the Lady Noelle that can CC and revive, but it's the same move. Is the disadvantage that I'm kind of coming up against. Obviously, Podrick doesn't CC and or revive, but it kind of depends on who the damage dealer picks are. since these two should be a damage dealer. Typically it's 3 support, like 2 revive slash boosters. So, okay, we have if we bring a lot of buffs, he's got to nuke us. And then we need somebody that can double hit for it. So Marius is probably going to be their band here. If we do Harima, it makes him a lot weaker. We can kind of triple hit with it. Ignore. I kind of want to build the cat in here, but we really don't have another option that's going to be a good one for support. Maybe here, but I think we just ran out of time anyways. So let's go ahead and build. Might have been a better option to pick Podrick because he has the ally attack, and we could have just easily nuked this down. It's just whenever she mass revives everybody, it's where we're going at. So yeah, they did ban the Maria, so that way I made sure I got my second nuker in there versus just trying to go against the monkey with a Rotos. Typically is not a good recipe. So we are not faster, so they're faster than 375. Not too much though on her. She's got an ally attack my booster. I should get a turn, so let's see. They will most likely cleanse, unfortunately, first. So I think I'm going to put up my block buffs, because if I did stun, she's going to cleanse, so I might try to save that. That way we're going to get a turn. Can I nuke him down? Because you're just going to cleanse this. So let's try to head and nuke him. So we did get the nuke. That's good. Trigger the extra turn. So I don't know if I would have cut in or not there, but if I could have stunned with her first and then got that, that would have been so much better. So we decreased their defense here. Didn't kill him, so it didn't revive. She did get that back, so that's fine. So let's see if we can strip this stone skin. Didn't strip it. Did he get extra turn? Yeah, unfortunately, extra turn. I think you're dead. And then I don't think you can one-shot me. Not even close with weak affinity. So let's just kind of keep going away. We got the decreased attack. Trigger extra turns there. Really saving my AoEs for when I need it most. Okay, good. Didn't do that. So I could one-shot. Ooh, didn't even one-shot. Okay. So let's go ahead and just kill you off. I really want to get back to the AoE. Okay, so this should kill, revive. Hopefully my Harima's gonna get a turn. Nope. And I think this is probably gonna be it for me because he'll stun. So unless I get a weak hit, yep, this will be it. Okay, so played that one probably a little rough. I do think Trimiria would have, if she would have stunned, and if the monkey would have got the turn, I think that would have been a little bit different because then we would have still had a CC and kind of a option there. So maybe putting her in more of like a 2 of Stone Skin would have been a lot better. But obviously, like this is testing period, so trying to figure out. So if you would have done this different, maybe pick somebody else different, let me know. Obviously, if there's somebody on my roster they're like, hey, you're really missing out on, love to hear it. I'm not the best with Live Arena. I just recently started, probably a month and a half ago, actually taking time to do it. So let's see, we do have our 2 options. And maybe I should not be picking Arbiter here. Maybe I should pick in Lady Mikage, because she's still fast. So maybe that's a better option, because Arbiter's not in Stone Skin, so if she loses the speed rage, which most likely here against the Sifi she's going to. So we'll see. Right now, between the 2 of them, I'm definitely banning the Odin. Odie. Yeah. Oh, no. Okay, so this guy, I forget his name. Commodus, maybe? Bomb champion, super good. So he will definitely be banned. I can't do Nishak because of here. So I know I can still get the monkey in. I'm definitely not going to go first, though. So I need to think Stone Skin, Stone Skin. If I put Torment, that doesn't help here. The other one has to be a damage dealer. So maybe I get a cleanse in with this one. This might work. Because then I know I'm banning this champion. So we'll see if the next one that they have is a Nishak. And they're really trying to go bomb. No, so they went the Sifi Rotos. ban the R-Mans, obviously. So we have, I wish this was an arena. So that way, I try to always have like 2 arena auras. That's why I do like the Lady Mikage here. I think the Tremisia has an all battles arena, so that's really good too. Let's see, obviously they're going to be faster because he has 40% for voids, which 3 of them are voids, so you'll buff up. I wonder if he's trying to think what he's going to do or what she's going to do with all this stone skin on this side. Probably a script. Okay, get a sheep. Okay, so I didn't strip everybody, so now I can cleanse and boost. Oh, cut in, come on, there we go. Can't kill, so I guess I probably need to try to strip here. Can I strip the stone skin? I can. Oh, he didn't cut in? Which one are you gonna do? You're probably going after the horse. Yep. I really don't want Odin to come back though. Let's kill Odin real quick. So we got everybody. Those 2 will come back. Oh, the block damage. That that sucks. Talk about bad timing there. You're gonna revive. Don't kill. Ooh. This will most likely be gone unless I can get really lucky on this. Okay, got lucky, but he's going to obviously be faster. Can my monkey cut in? Block damage again. Monkey did not cut in. Okay. You're to sleep. You're gonna have to wake me up. Nope. Well, maybe I can time it with the monkey. The Sifi sleep is just so underrated. All right, this one, good job. What are we, 0 and 2 so far? 0 and 2, so maybe this re-gear wasn't working too well. I don't know what I could have done different when it comes to that. That Mariska with her revive is, and the revive with how much turn meter that they end up getting is ridiculous. She is so strong. I think between her and Taurus, I would definitely have the Mariska. Like, you can't use bombs against her because she obviously blocks it out. They get first turn and they also have Armand. Then you're basically playing the speed race. It's like, can you cut in? Can you get a lucky sheep? So it's super hard to do there. Hey, hey, look at that intimidation factor. I don't know what happened there. I'm going to assume that the person lost connection or something. So thank you, whoever that was, for giving me a win so I don't go 0 and 5 on video after this rebuild. So I appreciate that. Level 92, so this is interesting. I have found that when you get to where I'm at, it's mythical, mythical, let's see, mythical, mythical. Um, the only chance you really have is if your gear is better than their gear, or if like you just have a super solid strategy when it comes to this. Really not some more mythicals, so that was kind of surprising. He's picking a lot of my picks though. Um, so maybe this is somebody who just does a lot of live arena, so it's just naturally kind of moved up. So for another nuker, I think we're gonna bring in the cat was my next option. Um, might ban the monkey here just so I make sure I get a turn. So we have our 2 nukers, and then we need kind of want to do Podrick here again. So when it comes to support, we have Podrick, we have Tremisia. We already took the Arbiter. I think I'm gonna do Podrick. I will say after doing a lot more of these, the Reviver option. So one of these 3, this Duchess, Saphirion, or Lady Mikage, is going to have to be built. Right now, I'm going to be running no Reviver where he's going to have 2 Revivers. I definitely think the monkey's the band here. Can't bomb because she'll cleanse. Do I want a Reviver? Not a bad option here. Can't really nuke. I think I'm gonna try to get the Armans in. So if I do this, they might have to try to ban that for the Armans. I could take him away or her away and not have to worry about him being able to cleanse. Because if Armans does go in and get a turn, oh, let's ban the monkey. Still went with okay. That was interesting. Also, another reason I like the cat, speed battle or speed aura. I wonder if he or she has never gone against the Cheshire cat before. Cheshire? Cheshire. I don't know how you say it. The cat. So we knew we were slower. So if she buffs, then Armans might be able to cut in. Didn't strip. So what'd she do? Go twice? All right. So we did get the freeze two. Let's go ahead and sheep you because I don't remember what your passive does. I don't have that champion. It would have been super nice to get that champion, but I just don't have that champion. So then we have now our perfect veil. I think this will end up killing her for the extra turn. No, but that still works. This will definitely kill her for the extra turn. Now we just gotta wait for you to revive. Let's just A1 here. So I don't think she's gonna come back with the turn. Have you guys noticed sometimes a sheep comes back out of it and then they instantly have a turn for whatever reason? It's not fun when that happens, but let's go ahead and just, which is A1. The A1 on this cat is super strong, even on the weak hits. So let's boost. Okay, so we should be getting back to one of these two to nuke. So let's just nuke with our Hedgie. We should still have a 100% crit rate if I remember. So that was a good one. Hedgie came in good. So we're really looking for that last one. Need one more to be able to get the chest. I don't remember the rewards in the chest, but I want to say there's a legendary book in there that I've gotten a couple times recently. So I want to make sure that I'm hitting the chest. Unfortunately, it does take me typically 10 battles to get to my 5 wins. So they're trying to go a little bit fast on us. So let's take the Marius and we'll take Lady Mikage here. See who is going to be next. All right, Alice. So we have block buffs. We need any single target damage dealers are not going to be as good here. So I think the move's still the cat. Really want to get a soul. I'm tempted. I have 7 of the medium soul stones. I'm tempted to try to pull for a soul for him because nothing has come up in the shop yet. But I also don't want to miss out on the opportunity to get a really good soul from like the next fusion. So I think we're banning the R-Mans or the Alice. So I think maybe an ally attack here would be nice. I only had a block revive champion. Um, I guess it would be the Rhonda here, but I don't think Rhonda's built. Let's try to see if we can bomb them through the Ultimate Death Knight. So maybe that's something I need to look at is just like a block revive. Um, I don't want to have to build out a block revive champion just for the monkey, but I do see him a lot. Also, at the same time, I'm getting closer and closer. I think reset for Curse City is in a week and 4 days or something like that. So we'll get the reset obviously from that, and then we'll be able to do our merit or our Amius mission to get that one down. So we'll be able to get a lot more points for that. So I think with this month, and then they'll take one more month, and I'll be at his soul because once again, it was just never a focus of mine. I think Amius is not the best boss in the world, and there's just so much inconsistency when it comes to it. So well, let's see, we're doing the strip. You got just the horse, so that's not too bad. I could try to strip here or do an ally attack to make sure the reviver's down. So I think I'm going to ally attack, get the reviver down. I'm not too worried about the strip because we're going to have kill here, and then let's go ahead and decrease his speed and increase our speed. I think it increases our speed, but I can't remember. So let's see if we can strip the Ultimate Death Knight. We did not. Is 550, so we did get one bomb, but we got cheaped. Maybe putting pinpoint on Nishak, so might be an option. So I don't want to do this. Let's see, I had 1, 2. So if I switch, does that make the monkey come back? Yes, it does. Perfect. So let's go ahead and stun. Didn't get the stun. Well, I might be screwed here. Nope, the block buffs. So good. A1 for the kill, almost. Let's just go ahead and let's weaken because he lost his bomb. Try to put some more bombs on him. So eventually he will die. Strong A1 for the kill. The cat is so good. Not too bad. We did get our chest here, so let's go ahead and see what we got for our gold chest. Not a lot of anything. I do like getting these dust from there because I've gotten a lot of dust from it. How do I check to see what is in that chest? I guess I don't know how to check to see what's in that. Does it tell me here? No. So we jumped in. We did our live arenas last night to see how we would do. Did learn a couple things. So I wanted to kind of cover this. So we ended up going 2, 3, 7 out of 10 end up being wins, which was very good for us. And we actually matched against people the same level when it comes to just terms of overall like points, which is very rare because sometimes there'll be like a 6,000, 8,000 one in there. So we don't often get an entire 10 in a row where they were pretty close, like to the equivalent of points that we are. So learned a couple things. I wanted to kind of highlight a couple of these battles. First, he's just nasty. Siegfried is just absolutely nasty. I had this one in the bag. I ended up putting, he had an Armand's, and then I had a Tormund because I know that she puts out a ton of buffs. And then sometimes when his block damage goes up, when he switches, Tormund can freeze him, and then that can essentially win you the match. So I had this going on. We ended up not going faster. So they went faster. They did their thing. We ended up cutting in, I think, I think it was after the monkey tried to strip us, but did not do it. And so we ended up cutting in, and then we ended up killing everybody besides the Siegfried. He revived, and then we almost had everybody down again because we were able to strip the block damage with Lady Mikage. But then just couldn't get him for whatever reason. I think we kept weak hitting on him, which was weird. It just didn't turn out too well for us, so there was that one. This one, we ended up, this Tramiria came in absolutely clutch when it came to this battle because they all got stunned, and she's immune to stun. So when they got stunned and they got stripped, it was her turn next, and she was able to cleanse everybody. I don't know why she jumped ahead of our mans, but she was able to cleanse everybody before their Gorgo, the Arger, I think that's his name, could go and just completely wipe us. So she cleansed, and then we just controlled the battle with Armands, which was great. We had this one where they really just had the one damage dealer, so it wasn't too bad. But once again, she came in clutch to help chain CC back with Lady Mikage, so I'm able to do the ally attack here instead of trying to switch and CC him if I do win the speed race, which on this one we actually did win the speed race, so that Arbiter is pretty slow. This one was just kind of a disaster, I would say, because we didn't get a turn at all. So they just boosted, and then she boosted, but then used her A1. So I was hoping she'd use her A2 so Armands could attack. And then both these two were in Stone Skin. He ended up one-shotting the monkey, and then he ended up putting bombs on all of the rest of them and just killed them before we could get a turn to cleanse. No sheep, unfortunately. So I do think if she gets a blessing, it should be a sheep blessing. That's going to really pay an effect since we did start using her quite a bit. For this one, I would say fairly easy. We did win the speed race, so we boosted, and then we went right into the Arman's control. So every time he goes by or gets into it, it does tend to be a victory for us, which is good. It's just on this one, they end up banning the Torment because I threw in Torment. No, I threw in Hegemon on this one, and they end up banning Hegemon. For this one, they banned the Armans. And I did not think I was going to win this one. I know they have Thor, and Thor's not as strong of a nuker, but with a Sifi, with a Harima, and a Lady Mikage, that combo is kind of nasty to deal with. And the Harima kind of more or less neuters my Sun Wukong just because of the ignore defense. A2 is reduced by 50%, so he normally can't one shot anybody. But we were able to go into the ally attack into the Harima first before they could do any buffing. Ended up killing her, and then Tramiria got a turn. She stunned, and then the monkey was able to blow him up. For this one was pretty nasty because they picked the Rotos here, so I thought maybe a perfect time to pick the Turvold. I did rebuild Turvold to be more of a stone skin and a nuke. He's not very impressive. I'll show the build after this because I don't think I showed it before. So he was able to one shot basically the Rotos, which was good for us because then we just took care of the rest of these three kind of off in the distance. This one, once again, the Siegfried just destroyed us. They had an Armans on here. Um, they got first pick, and so I really had to ban the Armans because I know this team is not fast enough. I feel like to really compete with an Armans because he typically laps us with stealing the stuns. And I know we did have the Tremisia, but I thought maybe we would be faster than this team. I didn't know why. I thought we'd be faster. Oh, they had an Arbiter, so I thought they were going to ban the Marius here, but they did not. And actually, they ended up metamorphing into whatever this one's second form is, a fox, and she just wiped everybody. And I want to say Nishak still had Stone Skin on, so that was unexpected. It literally went into this champion, and then it went into her, and then she gave him the instant turn essentially, and just wiped everybody. Wasn't ready for that one. This one was a very interesting fight. It wasn't actually bad played by him. This one took a lot longer than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was just going to be a very quick win, but very tanky, hard to kill, very tanky, and very tanky. And it made it difficult with my monkey going up against the Ultimate Death Knight. Um, so that was very interesting. They had a mythical. I don't remember what mythical it was, but they had a mythical, so I wanted to ban the mythical here, and I thought maybe I could strip at least and then try to CC with Tremisia. It worked, but this was very irritating. She ended up bombing one of these guys, and I got the cleanse away. So didn't kill it, and then she swapped HP, I want to say with Lady Mikage. So that made it really irritating because she was almost dead. And then the last one, the cat came in really clutch here, similar to other places that we played the cat, but they went through, and the strip didn't happen on the cat. As you see, our man's went through. It's because I put in a Torment here. I found out anytime that she goes in, I always put in a Torment, and it almost a Torment gets banned instead of the Arman's, which is great. So we got him through. We definitely lost the speed race, so they went into Arbiter, and then they went into Odin, who tried to strip and got sheeped, and then they went into her, and she boosted, but it wasn't enough to get to the monkey. So I ended up ally attacking into the Arbiter, killed the Arbiter, and ended up killing the monkey with the A1 here. And then we were able to A3 and then A1, and it killed everybody else. So very quick battles, very good on the regear. Now let me show you the champions on what they look like when it does come to our new live arena champions. I think I'll add to this roster and kind of rebuild. We've already talked about the Lady Mikage here. We've already showed him, so I think the only one we haven't seen is going to be this Tormund or Turvold. So he's going to be in the 4-piece lethal and then the 4-piece stone skin. He's going to be at 6.8k attack, so not the best. 205 speed, also not the best. He only does need 70% crit rate, which is fine, and then 253 crit damage. He's definitely in, I would say, my probably 20th worst nuking gear, just because I have so many more champions that I use in so many other things. But I thought he would be a fun one. I've always liked this champion quite a bit. I thought he'd be a fun one to do in live arena and classic arena when the situation does come up, to get him in, get him kind of hitting hard, and then obviously I just use him in the faction war. I don't use him anywhere else. I have the ninja built fairly decent for clan boss. So he's at 2.6 with 220 and 324 speed or crit damage, which he does great in my clan boss team. So there's no reason really to try to switch him out. Did I do my alternate nightmare? Ooh, maybe something went wrong with this one. Oh, it's on spirit. So sometimes it doesn't work on spirit, but it still does the 1 key damage, which is great. So you can kind of see here is Nightmare. It's our best affinity, so probably it'll be at 700 and some million. And you'll see what Ninja does in this build. I had him in a 9-piece Merciless with less stats on there, and it just ran out of sync because of all the extra turns. It was nice in Hydra because he got the extra turns, but this would be so up and down. And there was one time where I didn't get my 1 key on Ultra Nightmare, and I was just like, you know what? I'm not wasting keys here. So I'm going to go ahead and switch him. But with having Mad Hatter in there, I need to put all the masteries on him, so I need to finish farming his, and then his numbers will most likely go up closer to maybe Lady Mikage. Podrick's not built for damage. This is the one that we just rebuilt, so he is fast again. Maybe that's why the Ultra Nightmare didn't work. So I might have the wrong one in here, so I need to double check that. One thing that people don't talk about very often. Yeah, I definitely have the wrong one. So let's see. This one is at 313 speed, and I think this one's probably going to be really fast too. 323 speed. So I'm going to have to play around with them. He's at least in protection, so it's going to be giving more damage. This boost really won't matter there. But before, he was setting at like 260 because he was just beneficial for this. Really important because he has not only this reset, which it looks like I need to throw one more book into there to make this a little better. And then he teams up, so he has his ally attack, and then he heals your champions too. Places that continues heal. I try to not use this first because I want everybody else's buffs to go, so we're extending those. And then he fills their turn meter by 20%, and then he removes all debuffs, so he can cleanse that, or he can cleanse the stun, and then he gives you that increased speed, which is really important to make that work. But then he also gives everybody their essential damage that they need or their essential buffs to do what they need to do on there. So like our increased defense on our Wixwell, our increased accuracy on our Lady Mikage, and then I don't think I have any HP champions for that shield, but it would be nice to kind of extend the shield as well. So I think I do need to switch this one over, and then we'll have to give it a go to see what happens when I do get another key in 4 hours and 40 minutes. But just wanted to pop in really quick. I know I said I was done with the last one, but wanted to pop in and give you guys a quick update on how the live arena battles went.